Today, we're diving into a story that should have every American asking a simple question: what happens when law enforcement is under attack and our so-called leaders focus more on politics than protection? Because while Letitia James is busy suing the Trump administration over social service funding, she's also defending the civil rights of an undocumented immigrant accused of shooting a U.S. Border Patrol officer. Let's break it all down: what happened, why it matters, and what it reveals about the dangerous priorities coming from the left. Welcome to Nellie Miranda. Last week, an off-duty U.S. Customs and Border Protection officer was ambushed in an apparent robbery gone wrong. The suspect, an undocumented immigrant who, according to officials, should not have even been in the country in the first place. He had prior run-ins with the law, yet somehow remained free under New York's sanctuary policies.
There was a broken border policy. Now that we have an individual that came into the country illegally, was released on his own recognizance, and then just went on a crime spree.
So now the consequences of an open border reverberating yet again. A previously deported illegal immigrant accused of shooting an off-duty CBP officer in the face. It happened Saturday night around midnight in New York City, and Kristi Noem, DHS Secretary, set to give an update a few minutes from now.
So the victim is in stable condition. We just learned Secretary Noem left the hospital a moment ago after visiting that officer. He was off duty at the time. Video shows the suspect and another man approaching him on a scooter. The suspect then tries to what looks like rob him at gunpoint. The agent pulls out his own gun. They both exchange fire. That agent managing to wound the suspect. His accomplice, though, still at large.
So the suspect in custody is from the Dominican Republic, previously deported, but re-entered the U.S. under President Biden in 2023. We have heard that before. He's wanted in Massachusetts on kidnapping and weapons charges as of today.
This officer put on the uniform and served our country. Now he's lying in a hospital bed fighting for his life, fighting to walk again because our immigration enforcement system failed. His family has asked for privacy, but thanked the community for prayers. No one from Letitia James' office has visited. No official statement condemning the violence. But she had plenty to say regarding ICE deporting illegal immigrants while wearing masks and how they're just here in search for a better life, just like you and me.
Agent who was shot in New York City over the weekend. 2 undocumented immigrants with final removal orders are in custody for their involvement in this. One person of interest, Miguel Mora, has a criminal history. And I just want to lay this out for our viewers who are not familiar. I know this is a little lengthy, but it's important. And that criminal history includes charges for assault on a pregnant woman and a stabbing charge in January, according to 2 senior law enforcement officials. DHS detailed 3 arrests in the last 2 years in New York City. His alleged accomplice, Christian Ibar Berroa, also entered the country illegally and has a criminal history that includes charges of reckless endangerment and felony grand larceny. He pleaded guilty to petite larceny at the Bronx County Supreme Court in June of this year and was conditionally discharged, according to DHS. Is this the kind of incident where there may be a case where law enforcement, local law enforcement, should be coordinating with immigration authorities? Both of them had these removal orders, these final removal orders.
So let me just say, I'm so glad that the officer is doing well, and we pray for a speedy recovery. 2, let me also say that it is now time for Congress to enact comprehensive immigration reform. 3, individuals, obviously, who have criminal convictions or obviously, it is the policy of the great state of New York to cooperate with ICE agents. However, individuals who serve you each and every day, who come to this country seeking a better opportunity, individuals fleeing violence, individuals who want the same thing that you and I want, and that is to care for their families, individuals who serve us each and every day. Those are the individuals who need protection, and that's why the state of New York and other Democratic attorneys general are standing up for those families and for those individuals who unfortunately are being kidnapped in the middle of the night by masked agents with no insignia, no identification, and taken away from their families.
Letitia James claims New York cooperates with ICE for serious criminals, but also accuses federal agents of kidnapping innocent individuals. That's her language. This is the same AG who spent years promising to investigate President Trump. Now she's investigating law enforcement, not the crime. Not the failure of sanctuary policy, but how ICE raids are a violation of illegal immigrants' civil rights. She briefly stated she's glad the victim, the officer, is okay and is keeping him in her prayers. Then she moved on. What happened to standing with victims? I did not feel an ounce of sincerity from her statement, but maybe I'm projecting. Let's get back into the interview.
System not working. I mean, if you're talking about waiting for comprehensive immigration reform, I've been in Washington for 20 years, and they've been trying for a long time. It doesn't happen, right? So why, in the case of cities taking a step and states taking a step, is this an example where there could be that coordination instead of waiting decades for Congress to act?
At the outset, I indicated to you that, in fact, New York State and other Democratic states cooperate with ICE when it comes to criminal convictions. But when it comes to innocent individuals who serve as your nanny, who clean your home, individuals who are our neighbors, individuals who unfortunately are just trying to make ends meet.
Both of these individuals had multiple arrests after deportation orders. Why are those not opportunities?
And that is why in the state of New York, when it comes to individuals, as you indicated, individuals with criminal convictions, then we cooperate with ICE. But it's important that we make a distinction between those individuals with criminal convictions and those individuals, again, who are just trying to make ends meet each and every day. And the vast majority of individuals who are being secreted and kidnapped at night are individuals who, again, are facing civil deportation and not criminal enforcement. It's important that we make a distinction. It's important that individuals understand that individuals are being caught up in these ICE raids, innocent individuals, students, teachers, small businesses. We all want the same thing, and that is to protect individuals from harm. But unfortunately, what we are seeing is mass ICE agents without any insignia, without any identification, kidnapping innocent individuals that both you and I know.
She essentially admitted that New York selectively chooses when to cooperate with ICE. That's a questionable position, because how can authorities always know in advance whether someone is a criminal or not? In past ICE raids, individuals who were initially detained were later found to have criminal records, something ICE didn't always know at the time of the arrest. So the idea that they only cooperate when it's a criminal sounds more like political posturing than a practical enforcement strategy. And while all this is happening, James is leading a coalition of over 20 Democrat attorney generals in a lawsuit against the Trump administration. What are they fighting? Trump's restrictions on who can access programs like Head Start, Meals on Wheels, FEMA disaster relief, and mental health support. The Trump administration wants to prioritize legal U.S. citizens and documented residents for federal benefits. But Letitia James is suing to make sure undocumented immigrants can still tap into those programs. She calls it justice. We call it fiscal irresponsibility and backwards priorities. James defends this approach by using words like compassionate and inclusive. But let's be honest, when sanctuary policies shield dangerous individuals and law enforcement pays the price, that's not compassion. That's chaos. And yet, Democrats like Letitia James continue to push sanctuary policies while suing anyone who tries to restore some common sense. It's dangerous hypocrisy. So it was July 21st when Letitia James announced her new lawsuit against the Trump administration, joined by 20 other Democratic AGs.
Well, let's start with why the Trump administration is doing this. I think that's important. They believe that American taxpayer-funded programs like Head Start, which helps provide child care and daycare and preschool programs, particularly to low-income citizens, low-income Americans, they believe these programs are meant for Americans, citizens of the United States, not for undocumented immigrants. As the Attorney General said in the lawsuit, these programs are rooted first in compassion. Head Start, for instance, is not a program that is typically asked for someone's immigration status. All of that has changed, though, with recent directives by the Trump administration. This lawsuit is the latest effort to fight it. But I'll be honest with you, Attorney General Phil Weiser hasn't had a ton of success. Democratic attorneys general haven't had a ton of success with all of these challenges in the courts. They're certainly attempting to block the president as much as they can.
Her office issued a statement on their site. Let me read you a small part from it. It says New York Attorney General Letitia James today led a coalition of 20 other attorneys general in suing the federal administration to stop its unlawful attempt to gut life-saving health, education, and social service programs for low-income families. Earlier this month, in a chaotic reversal of decades of agency policy, the administration issued sweeping new directives barring many safety net programs from serving all residents, regardless of immigration status. The changes threaten access to core services such as Head Start, Meals on Wheels, child welfare programs, domestic violence shelters, housing assistance, mental health treatments, food banks, and community health centers. Attorney General James and the coalition are asking the court to halt these policies and act quickly to prevent the collapse of some of the nation's most vital public programs. Okay, so now let's talk numbers. Head Start alone costs over $700 million a year. Mental health services cost another $180 million a year. Add undocumented access to that equation, and guess who pays? You do. Taxpayers who play by the rules, work hard, and follow the law. This is not an isolated moment, it's a pattern. Letitia James has weaponized her office from targeting Trump and conservatives to shielding those who violate our laws. She says her job is about justice. But where's the justice for the Border Patrol agent shot in cold blood? Where's the justice for New Yorkers who are afraid to walk the streets? But where's Letitia James? Nowhere near accountability, because for her and the progressive left, this is about power, not protection. They could not care less about their constituents. It's about pushing amnesty for illegal immigrants in hopes of securing future votes and keeping the Democratic Party in power indefinitely. So what do you think? Do you believe Democrats are using sanctuary policies to build a future voter base? And where should we draw the line on public services, citizens first or open access? Let me know in the comments. And if you believe in law and order and are tired of politically motivated justice, please make sure you like and subscribe, as it really helps support the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.